So apologies there, some slight difficulties there on the audio. Arnie Carr is the one battling away there with Aaron Robinson initially, but there was a slight hiccup on the start line. We had a jump start initially for Chris Heimers. Philly Cottenham had a technical difficulty on the starting line there, but now we've got this amazing battle between Tommy Armand and Arnie Carr. They've been swapping positions for the last couple of laps. So Tommy Armand having a big moment in the battle with Arnie Carr, but the track conditions improving means that we're going to have another great opportunity on the inside. Arnie Carr diving back to the inside of Tommy Armand and dives through the rotation on the radius, gets through and takes back the lead. So Tommy Armand is going to have to try and attack him once again. But Arnie Carr versus Tommy Armand, this is getting to be very close indeed between these two riders. They've been trading positions all the way. So still they run in close proximity, Arnie Carr and Tommy Armand. Running through to the left side of the course, and now they will run past the paddock. Tommy Armand has led for part of this race already. Arnie Carr has done so again. And still the live timing screen I've got in front of me no longer functional. So Arnie Carr and Tommy Armand still dueling away, and it's Tommy Armand back in front. So Tommy Armand has made this work, but the track is now dry enough for both racers to start to ramp up the tension on their opponent. So Tommy Armand holds it, but Arnie Carr is pushing the limits behind. Then we've got Robinson, Morrison, Fielding, Patterson, Johnson, Clarahu and Chris Heimers up the inside line, and that's Arnie Carr retaliating again on Tommy Armand. Great racing between these two in Minibike 140. Very interesting to see these two sliding around and really putting on the pressure to each other. Excellent racing from Arnie Carr and Tommy Armand. So at the moment it is Arnie Carr that holds the line, having been the only rider in qualifying to set a lap time in under 60 seconds. Tommy Armand still trying to make the move happen here on the inside of Arnie Carr. Trying to work in close proximity. They come back up the straight now, having had that run at the loop. And is there going to be a change of lead once again? Can Tommy Armand get level with Arnie Carr and throw it to the inside line? Carr trying to keep the momentum of the bike in favour, but Tommy Armand has come through to retake the lead here. So excellent work as back on the inside line. They swap positions again. So Arnie Carr is back in front, but he drifts wide. That could be enough for Tommy Armand, who has to get a little bit out of sorts in order to correct his line out of the hairpin. So they could be trading positions here and be very tactical about when they take the lead away from each other. Trying to keep on top of when there is a lead change, but unfortunately, again, my timing screen does not really permit me access to what is currently going on. I think there's an issue. Now it's come back into position, so it took a little bit of time there, and that's a yellow flag for Liam Booth, I think, who's had an issue. I know it might not be Liam Booth, actually. There is a slowing bike. Finley Cottenham's only done one lap less than, well, it's done one lap less than everybody else. Arnie Carr and Tommy Armand still having this duel. Here comes Tommy Armand to the inside line, chucks it to the inside. That'll do nicely. So Tommy Armand back in front of Arnie Carr with Aaron Robinson trying to give chase to these two. The more they battle away with each other, the more likely he has a chance of getting himself back into the mix. There's Robinson in the background, and he's getting much closer than these two riders would dare to hope. So Tommy Armand trying to get back on terms with the race leader, Arnie Carr. Robinson is third, then Morrison, Patterson, Fielding, Swan, Heimers, Walker and Wise. So currently it is Arnie Carr having got himself into a bit of a rhythm now. A little bit less from Tommy Armand. So now the riders make their way back into the loop past the paddock. And there's going to be some really strong competitors moving their way further forward. I think we've had an issue with one of our cameras on the far side of the paddock there. It seems to be no longer functioning as Tommy Armand now leads. So Tommy Armand is now your leader, and Aaron Robinson has decided to get in amongst it here to make his bid ahead of Arnie Carr. Certainly at the line he was there or thereabouts, so it's getting pretty tricky now. The top three riders definitely at each other's throats on this part of the course, and great work from Aaron Robinson, to feed himself into the duel for the victory. 3 laps to go, so this is definitely the race of the weekend so far, because Armand, Robinson and Carr are definitely keeping it unpredictable here ahead of Tim Paterson and Samuel Morrison. Then Tommy Fielding P6, Harry Swan, Chris Hymers, Tom Wise and Aidan Walker. Gary Johnson Clary, 11th place ahead of Liam Trinder, Dan Cliff and Ryan Hayburn. And Sean Brunning, Simon Portis, Sid Marshall, Mark Portis, Finley Cottenham, and obviously Liam Booth is still in the mix there somewhere. Here comes the charge now as Aaron Robinson is going to try and take the lead. He wobbles down the main straight, but he should have the opportunity here to dive in as Tommy Armand keeps his hand on the throttle. Through that flowing right-hander, they almost bang handlebars, and Aaron Robinson is able to get into the lead here. 3 different race leaders then. But here comes the battle again from Tommy Armand, who will dive back in on the inside line and leave no stone unturned. Bit of a twitch from Aaron Robinson. And of course, they've only got 1 lap to go as they pass the paddock this time by. So with a lap and a half still to go, it is Tommy Armand who is getting himself into a race-winning position here, with the hard-charging Aaron Robinson and Arnie Carr not far behind at all. So this is going to be very close quarters racing, and they're going through the traffic at the same time, so this will definitely tighten up the opportunities for the riders. So now we're going to get to see if Armand can hold his nerve here in front of Aaron Robinson. Yellow flag, so there's not going to be any overtaking on that section of the course. We're past that, so now we're going to dive to the inside line, and that is a hard charge forward from Tommy Fielding. Tommy Fielding now storms forward and takes the lead. Incredible. We've got about 6 riders in the mix here, all trying to work their way further forward. But where is Aaron Robinson? I wonder if he went down. Looks like someone else has gone from the fray. So Tommy Armand leads the way here from Arnie Carr and Tommy Fielding. But Tommy Fielding getting his move on the inside of Arnie Carr, and I think Tommy Armand has been able to pull clear of the rest of the riders here. So Tommy Armand has been giving himself the opportunity. Tim Paterson, I think, was trying to get involved in that as Sam Morrison and Tim Paterson closed up on the leading, well, I want to say quartet, but I think it's only going to be a trio, because we had a big issue there in the race from Aaron Robinson, who has now not come through. So Tommy Armand is going to come through and get the victory out in front. He's pulled clear. 2nd position goes the way of Tommy Fielding, ahead of Arnie Carr, Sam Morrison and Tim Paterson. Goodness me, tough stuff. As Aaron Robinson, I think just out of sight of the cameras, ended up falling there in the paddock area.